Alrighty, back on page 154. So on guided practice the other day, we had done number 1 and number 2. And what we had done is just found the tax for the notebook and just found the tip for the lunch. So this is the work that you have or should have in your math book from Thursday. We're going to add one more layer to this. So in the directions, it says find the total cost to the nearest cent. So just like what we did in the warm-up, we're going to find the total cost. So for number 1, I'm going to write this off to the side. We're going to find out if the notebook was $2.95 and the tax was 15 cents. We want to know all together what the cashier is going to say that we owe for the notebook. So we're going to add together right now $2.95 plus 15 cents. And so all together, you owe $3.10 for that notebook. So you have 2 steps here. We did step 1 or step A on Thursday. We found the tax. And step B, we found the total cost. Total, add them together. $3.10 is what you owe. Number 2, we're going to do the same thing. Now, this was lunch at a restaurant. And so we're going to find the total bill. And so it was a $28 lunch plus the 15% that tip that we're leaving was $4.20. So we're going to add those together. So right now in your calculator, 28 plus $4.20. For that bill, we owe total $32.20. So the cost of the lunch and then the tip that you're going to leave for the waitstaff all together at that restaurant, you've spent $32.20. Okay, so we're now going to go back to some other work we did. So we're going to go to the independent practice on 155. And once again, we worked through these 4 on Thursday. So I'm going to do one more, and then you're going to find the remaining. So number 1, a $58 bill. So maybe you had a nice dinner at the Hearthstone here in town, and you've left that 20% tip. And we found that tip to be $11.60. So let's find that total cost. We're going to add. And so we're going to take the $58 and add to that the $11.60. Total cost. Add those together. And when you do, you should have a total of $69.60 that you've spent at that restaurant with tip included. Now we talked about too, right, with tip, they could have, instead of putting $11.60 on the table, they could have rounded that to $12, right? We talked about that in one of the previous examples. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. And we also had done one on extra practice. Number 18, find the total cost for those. So you have 4 problems to go back to from Thursday, 2, 3, and 4, and the extra practice. 4 problems, find total cost. I'll meet you back here. All right, let's take a peek. So you should have gotten $69.60. Oh, we did that one already. Sorry about that. Number 2. For number 2, you should have gotten $50.74 for your total bill at that restaurant. Number 3, you should have gotten $1,605 for that computer that you're buying. Number 4, $47.33 for the shoes that you're purchasing. And the last one on extra practice for the meal, it looks like total bill would be $7.99. So I'm showing you today adding that extra layer to find that total cost once you have found tax or tip. The last thing that I'm going to introduce you today is markup. And so I'm going to actually show, let's come here. I'm going to show a video on markup, so that can explain what a markup is. And this will just play for a couple minutes, and then we'll go back and try a problem.
Let's spend a minute and talk about how businesses work. The idea of a business like Best Buy is to make money, and they do that by selling you stuff. Now, the stuff in their store, they would have bought from a company, and then they would have sold it to you. So here's an example of something you find in Best Buy is the game Minecraft. And Minecraft is made by a company called Mojang, and Mojang was recently bought out by Microsoft. And let's say, for example, that Microsoft is selling the game, or Mojang/Microsoft is selling you the game, or selling Best Buy the game for $12. So what that means is Best Buy is pulling out a check, writing $12, giving it to Minecraft, to the company here, and then they get the game. Now, when Best Buy sells it to you, they're not going to sell it to you for $12 because they wouldn't make any money. Imagine you buying something for $12 and selling it to your friend for $12. You haven't made anything. So we have to mark up the price. And they do that by marking it up by a certain percentage point. And we need to figure out what Best Buy's selling price is. Now, this isn't very difficult to do. Here's what the steps are. You need to first ask yourself, 40% of what? Say that out loud. Say 40% of what? 40% of what? 40% of $12. That's what we want to find out. Now, you need to convert the percentage point into a decimal point. And to do that, you find the decimal, which is always here if you don't see it, and you move it backwards 2 times. And that gets you decimal 40. The word of turns into times, and this is $12. You can do this on your calculator, or you can do it in your head. I'm just going to do it in my head. It's $4.80. Now, you turn 40% into a decimal 40. Here's another explanation behind that. 40% means 40 over 100. And 40 over 100, if you divide these, you get decimal 40. That's the reasoning behind it. Now, this has got to be the price, right, Mr. Melham? This is the answer. I can move on, can't I? No. You know why? Because this is the markup. If you look closely at the word markup, you see the word up. You need to take this price and up it. You got to add it. So you start with the $12 and you add $4.80. Doing so will get you $16 and what? And 80 cents. That's going to be my price. $16.80. I will mention this here.
Okay, so essentially what's happening here is you're going to see what Best Buy is going to sell it for on their sales floor, which is $16.80. And so depending on, so each one that they buy or a customer buys from Best Buy, Best Buy will earn a profit of $4.80. They're making $4.80 on the sale of a Minecraft game each time it's sold. So we're going to come back and try a problem. And so we're going to head to, I think we're going to do number on the independent practice. We're going to look at 155, number 7 right here. So we're going to find the selling price of a $270 bicycle with a 24% markup. So let's say, for example, Dunham's needs bikes for their store. And so they're going to write a check for $270 to the manufacturer of the bike or bikes that they're trying to purchase for their store and bring it into their store. So remember what the video just said. They're not going to turn around and bring it back into Dunham's and sell it for $270 because they're not making any money at that point. So they are going to mark it up. They're going to mark it up 24% to put it on their sales floor. So they do make a little bit of a profit or a lot of profit depending on how many bikes they sell. All right, so we're going to call this step A. Now, in the video, it also showed you a different way to work these problems out, which he did a decimal format of the percent and multiplied it by the price of the video game. So that's absolutely a different way you can do it. It's called percent of a number. It was actually lesson 1 in this chapter. But I focused on proportions with you because a lot of what we do within 7th grade math is proportion work. And so you do have to understand how the proportions work. At the same time, you know now a different way that you can solve them. And you know there's always multiple ways to solve math problems. So I'm going to show the proportion setup here. So I'm going to show you this and the 24% markup out of 100%, and how much of a markup if Dunham's is going to write the manufacturer a check for $270, how much of a markup, how much is Dunham's going to mark the price up? So let's go through and solve it. So 100 times X equals 270 times 24. So when you multiply that, you're getting 6,480 divided by 100. Remember, dividing by 100 moves the decimal 2 places to the left. So that becomes $64.80. We don't need to do any rounding here. We have the exact amount that we need in dollars and cents. And remember, that is the markup. Now, this isn't final though, right? So we found out the markup amount. Step B, we need the selling price right here. So what's Dunham's going to sell it for on their sales floor? So we're going to take the 270 and add to that the markup of $64.80. Okay, so let's do it. Let's add it. And so when you add those together, Dunham's is going to put a sticker on that bike for $334.80. And each time they sell that bike, they're going to have made $64.80 in profit towards their store. You're going to try one last one. You're going to try number 8 here right next to it. And then as soon as number 8's done, you can come back and check your work. I'm going to have you pause it, try it, check your work. And if you do have any remaining time at that point, then you can go into ALEKS. Tomorrow, Tuesday, you will do a quick check, a homework, an assignment in Schoology on lesson 6 with tax, tips, and markup. So again, when you finish this, check your answer and then go into ALEKS. Have a great day. Okay, there's your final $652.50.